Have you ever wondered about the history of the Hoover Dam? Nestled between the rugged cliffs of the Black Canyon on the Colorado River, the Hoover Dam stands as one of the greatest engineering marvels of the 20th century. This massive concrete structure, built during the Great Depression, not only provided much-needed jobs but also transformed the American Southwest, supplying water and hydroelectric power to millions. Its construction was fraught with challenges, ranging from extreme weather to dangerous working conditions. Yet, against all odds, the dam was completed ahead of schedule. The Hoover Dam is more than just a feat of engineering. It is a symbol of American ingenuity, resilience, and ambition. Welcome to History Wonder. The Colorado River, a lifeline of the western United States, has long been both a blessing and a curse. While it provided water for agriculture and growing cities, its unpredictable flooding posed a severe threat to communities and farmland. By the early 20th century, the need for a large-scale water management system became undeniable. Farmers in California's Imperial Valley, for instance, had suffered devastating floods, while cities like Los Angeles and Las Vegas were desperate for a reliable water source. By the 1920s, this idea evolved into a project that could solve several issues simultaneously: control flooding, provide irrigation, supply power, and help meet the growing demands of the rapidly expanding population of the southwestern United States. However, the realization of such an enormous project would need to overcome significant technical, financial, and political hurdles. The concept of the dam in the Black Canyon was initially proposed in the early 1900s, but it wasn't until 1928 that Congress passed the Boulder Canyon Project Act, authorizing the construction of what would later become the Hoover Dam. The project was named after President Herbert Hoover, who had played a significant role in negotiating the Colorado River Compact, an agreement between 7 states that determined how the river's water would be divided. The act authorized the construction of the dam on the Colorado River to be located in the Black Canyon, which was situated on the border between Nevada and Arizona. However, after years of lobbying by Nevada's Senator Patrick McCarran and Arizona's politicians, it was decided that the Hoover Dam would be the flagship of water management in the southwestern United States. In addition, the dam was also designed to generate hydroelectric power for use in cities like Los Angeles, Phoenix, and later Las Vegas. The federal government estimated the cost at around $49 million, equivalent to nearly $1 billion today, making it one of the largest public works projects in American history. Before construction could even begin, the government had to address a critical issue: where would thousands of workers live? The solution was Boulder City, a planned town built specifically to house the laborers and their families. Unlike the chaotic and often lawless boomtowns of the past, Boulder City was carefully designed with housing, schools, and amenities, though strict rules prohibited gambling and alcohol consumption. The city was deliberately isolated to ensure the workers' safety and discourage distractions during this monumental effort. Over 5,000 men and some women would eventually call Boulder City home, where they spent their days working long shifts and their nights in the barracks or local homes. Although working conditions were tough, the men were well compensated for their labor compared to the Great Depression's average wages. One of the first and most dangerous tasks was diverting the Colorado River. To do this, workers blasted 4 enormous tunnels, each about 50 feet in diameter, through the walls of the Black Canyon. This allowed engineers to temporarily reroute the river and create a dry construction site. The idea was to reduce the water's flow enough to create a safe space for the dam's construction. As this process unfolded, teams of engineers and workers used dynamite to clear out tunnels and redirect the river, which was no small feat. The project was extremely dangerous, and men working on the tunnels had to constantly battle the river's force and unpredictable conditions. The completion of the tunnels was an engineering marvel in itself, requiring a remarkable display of precision and foresight. Working conditions were brutal. The scorching desert heat often exceeded 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius, and workers faced constant exposure to dust and toxic fumes. Many suffered from heat stroke, and an alarming number of deaths were recorded, officially 96, though some historians believe the actual toll was higher. Many workers were young men who took on the job for steady paycheck, often leaving their families behind in the hope of finding work during the Depression. Despite the dangers, jobs at the dam were highly sought after. The Great Depression had left millions unemployed, and men traveled from across the country for the opportunity to earn steady wages. The project provided a much-needed economic boost, offering employment to thousands during one of the bleakest periods in American history. The Hoover Dam's construction required an unprecedented amount of concrete, enough to build a two-lane highway stretching from San Francisco to New York. Engineers faced the challenge of preventing the concrete from overheating and cracking. To solve this, they poured the concrete in smaller interlocking blocks and embedded cooling pipes filled with water. This innovative method allowed the concrete to cure properly without structural damage. At the height of the construction, the team of over 4,000 workers labored around the clock to ensure the dam's foundation was solid. Even the most meticulous planning, the scale of the task itself still left room for unexpected challenges. The pouring of the concrete, which took several years, is still regarded as one of the most complex aspects of the Hoover Dam's construction. Unlike traditional gravity dams, which rely solely on their weight to resist water pressure, the Hoover Dam employs an arch gravity design. This means that in addition to its massive weight, the curved structure directs water pressure outward against the canyon walls, distributing the force more efficiently. This design allowed the dam to be stronger and use less material than a standard gravity dam of similar size. The dam's design was visionary, especially considering the challenges it faced. Engineers had to factor in the unpredictable nature of the river, the temperatures of the desert, and the terrain of the canyon itself. The result was a dam that not only withstood the pressure of the river, but also created one of the most stunning visual feats of modern architecture. Amazingly, construction was completed 2 years ahead of schedule, and on September 30th, 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the dam in a grand ceremony. The structure, standing 726 feet tall and stretching 1,244 feet across the canyon, was officially named Hoover Dam, though for years it was referred to as the Boulder Dam due to political disputes over President Hoover's legacy. The dedication was attended by many dignitaries and government officials, but it also included ordinary workers and their families who had endured the hardships of the project and contributed to its success. This event marked the culmination of an ambitious, grueling, and life-altering project that had required enormous human, financial, and technological resources. The Hoover Dam was not just a dam, it was a symbol of the potential of the American people to come together during times of crisis and achieve what once seemed impossible. The Hoover Dam's hydroelectric power plant was one of the largest of its time, capable of generating over 2,000 megawatts of electricity. It provided power to cities across Nevada, Arizona, and California, fueling growth in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and other rapidly expanding urban areas. The dam also created Lake Mead, which remains the largest reservoir in the United States, with a capacity of over 28 million acre-feet of water. Lake Mead is crucial for irrigation, drinking water, and power generation. The dam allowed for the creation of a vast water distribution system that turned the arid Southwest into a vibrant agricultural and urban region. Today, the Hoover Dam remains a major tourist attraction, drawing nearly 1 million visitors annually. Despite its age, the dam continues to function effectively, supplying power and water to millions of people. However, it faces modern challenges. Due to prolonged drought and climate change, Lake Mead's water levels have declined significantly, raising concerns about water shortages and power generation. From its perilous construction to its lasting impact on the American West, the dam stands as a shining example of what can be accomplished through determination and ingenuity. The Hoover Dam is and always will be one of the greatest triumphs of modern engineering. Thanks for watching. What topics in history have you wondered about? Comment below and let us know what videos you would like to see. And be sure to like and subscribe.